I'm told after the post office was flooded, inspectors found asbestos throughout the building, making it hazardous to breathe. Because of all the damage, workers have had to sort and hand out mail in this portable van and these shipping containers here behind me in the rain, snow, and freezing temperatures for nearly 4 months. This is one of the medical simulation rooms here at PNWU, and hopefully by 2025, they'll have a dental building with rooms similar to this one. Unlike U-Cut tree farms, stores like Roots Nursery say they've had tons of people coming in, snow or shine, to shop for trees for this Christmas. You may notice a lot of the remaining trees are all around the same height as me. That's because they say they've already sold out of all of their tall Christmas trees for this year. If you don't want to end up here in the back of an ambulance, Advanced Life Systems advises that you drink at least 3 bottles of water while out in the sun. In 2022, over 17,000 calls were dispatched to radios like this by the Yakima Fire Dispatch Center. Fire departments all across the valley say they're seeing an increase in call volume, but their staffing and funding isn't keeping up with it. In mid-September, a pipe burst in the post office located on East 1st Street in Cle Elum, causing the building to flood.
So the Postal Service workers are now working behind the building within the alley.
Here's a look inside the post office. A majority of the carpet has been ripped up, leaving bolts sticking out of the ground. Parts of the walls are torn off and baseboards have been removed throughout the lobby area. I'm told after the post office was flooded, inspectors found asbestos throughout the building, making it hazardous to breathe. Because of all the damage, workers have had to sort and hand out mail in this portable van and these shipping containers here behind me in the rain, snow, and freezing temperatures for nearly 4 months. Just last week, workers were outside in negative temperatures trying to get work done. Today, they're slogging through puddles of standing water and melting snow.
These conditions are just not acceptable for us to continue to have these workers work in.
David Rupert, a spokesperson with the United States Postal Service, says they don't own the building, so they're not able to go inside until the landlord has fixed the repairs. Adding, quote, the Postal Service is continuing to work with the property owner regarding the damage abatement and building repairs. We're eager to restore regular service for the community. Despite public outcry, repairs seem to continue to be pushed back. Kittitas County commissioners say they've been working closely with the Chamber of Commerce to see if they're able to temporarily move the post office to a different location.
We'd like to see them move as quickly as possible for not only the working conditions of the people that work at the Cle Elum Post Office, but also for the people that are receiving their mail. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a timeline that's been shared with the county.
Christmas approaches, many people are still on the hunt for the perfect tree. However, the tradition of cutting trees might be slowing down.
Normally, we go and chop trees down or go get our tags and go out to the forest, but snow hit and we're a little farther from the forest than we normally are, so we're just going to buy them.
Yep.
Local U-Cut tree farms say they've noticed a decline in people recently because of the heavy snow, giving some people no choice but to shop for pre-cut trees at tree lots.
Some people go to the mountains and get a tree. Well, they got to find it in all the snow now. So that'll help our tree sales.
Unlike U-Cut tree farms, stores like Roots Nursery say they've had tons of people coming in, snow or shine, to shop for trees for this Christmas. You may notice a lot of the remaining trees are all around the same height as me. That's because they say they've already sold out of all of their tall Christmas trees for this year. Regardless if your tree is already cut or not, farmers say trees are going to cost you a little more this year, although that doesn't seem to be stopping shoppers this season.
Everything's gone up lately, so it doesn't seem like it's actually gone up with the inflation or anything of the time, so it's actually decently priced, in my opinion.
You know, people just accept the fact that things are going to cost more, but they're buying.
And it appears next year will be even more expensive as less options become available. Robert Mitchell, manager at Roots Nursery in Yakima, says each year there are fewer and fewer tree lots in town, likely due to a supply shortage.
But we're already told that next year we're only going to get half our trees, mainly because of a heat spell 2 years ago on the coast. It burned a lot of trees, and so they're not coming into maturity like they should.
Has the funding matched the increase in call volume?
No, not even close.
During 2022, over 17,000 calls were dispatched to radios like this by the Yakima Fire Dispatch Center. Fire departments all across the valley say they're seeing an increase in call volume, but their staffing and funding isn't keeping up with it. The fire department for the city of Yakima is a slight exception. They got about 500 fewer calls in 2022, likely due to COVID dying down. However, they're still at a high record of over 12,000 calls per year.
The trend line for calls for service and emergency response for the Yakima Fire Department and nationwide, to be honest with you, over the last 20 to 25 years has been a steady increase every single year.
West Valley Fire Chief Nathan Craig says about 80% of their calls are medical.
Road, possible broken leg. Station 51 respond.
And he says many of them are either false alarms or injuries that don't require ambulance or fire assistance. So if you want to help, it could be as simple as making sure you only call 911 when it's a real emergency.
The emergency room is for emergencies, and we're getting people that are calling 911 for they lost their toenail.
Craig says extra non-emergency calls takes first responders away from others that are more serious. And with such low staffing, it could also put lives at risk.
We need to be in service and available, ready to go help those people. If we're dealing with a twisted ankle while someone's having a heart attack, we're not really using our resources very well.
Yakima Deputy Fire Chief Jeremy Rodriguez says right now they're down 6 employees, but are hoping to hire at least 2 in the next few months.
East Valley, West Valley, SELA, as you know, all of us are struggling to find firefighter candidates.